It is without a doubt that the Corvette ZR1 and the ZR1X is the fastest American production car to ever lap the Nürburgring, right? But in the latest head-to-head, it put the ZR1X versus the Mustang GTD and versus a Porsche GT3 RS. Even though the ZR1X came out on top and had the fastest lap time out of both of those cars, there was still a big weakness that was discovered with the ZR1 and the ZR1X that showed that if Chevy takes this car back into the lab and improve on these weaknesses, the lap times that we've already seen with the ZR1X could be shattered quite easily. Let's dive into what these weaknesses are and what Chevy could do next that could take this Corvette up to the next level. Let's go ahead and get into the video. You see the title and you see the thumbnails. No doubt the ZR1X is fast. It is crazy fast, and what Chevy did with that car is simply amazing. They took this C8 and took it to a next level, beating all kinds of Porsches, beating a lot of cars at the Nürburgring. So Americans can make cars that can turn, not only just go straight. But even though it went against some like heavy competition, we're talking about the Mustang GTD, which is going back and forth trying to get the fastest Nürburgring time. It went against the Porsche GT3 RS. Even though it went head to head versus those cars in a lap time challenge and came out on top with the fastest times, some of the data that came from that test shows that even though it is pretty fast, it still has a pretty big weakness that when Chevy does decide to go to the next level with this car, they do have some headroom for improvement. And when they do make these improvements, this car is going to be a monster like none of us has ever seen before. So you may ask, this car has over 1,000 horsepower. What exactly is the weakness of this car that can be improved upon to make this car even faster? From the test and from what the guys were saying, they mentioned that this car makes actually the least amount of downforce between the Porsche GT3 RS and the Mustang GTD.
This car also makes the least downforce, making just over 1,200 pounds of downforce at peak speeds.
So what exactly is the downforce here? So the downforce is the ability with the air going over the car, pushing it down to the track that allows it to take turns much faster. All right, so the question is this now. So how bad did the lack of downforce on the ZR1 hurt the overall performance of this car? Even though it had the faster lap time, where did it really hurt this car on the track? So shout out to Savage Geese. They did the whole comparison of the three cars, and this data that I'm about to show you really kind of shows you where the ZR1 gets its speed from and where Chevy can really improve on this car on the next version of this car to make it even faster. So you'll see what we're going through. So the data I'm about to show you here right now pretty much gives a comparison of the ZR1 compared to the GT3 RS and as well as the Mustang GTD. So it gives you the time through the corners. It gives you how fast the car is going into the corner, the slowest speed in the corner, and how fast the car is coming out of the corner, as well as that next straightaway after that turn. How fast is it going down the straightaway? And this will show you that the ZR1 is only fast because, to be honest, it has the most speed accelerating out of the corner. So here it is. So here's some of the data here. So the first thing you see right here is one of the turns, and you can see right off the bat there. Let me just pause it real quick. So this is the first turn here that's outlining. And this turn, you can see that actually the GT3 RS has a better time. You can see the entry speed. So the ZR1 had a faster speed getting into the corner by far, but you can see the minimum speed here. The Porsche had a faster minimum speed by maybe 1 mile an hour. But on exit, you can see the ZR1 gets off the corner faster. And of course, on the straightaway, the ZR1 has a much faster time down the straightaway. And you'll kind of see that same theme here in different turns, depending on the turn here. You got another turn right here. You can see again, let me pause it really fast. I'm gonna try to go through these really quickly. Again, ZR1 here, it actually this time had a faster time. Entry speed, GT3 RS had the faster speed, faster minimum speed through the turn. That means it got through the turn faster. It was able to turn faster. Exit speed, the GT3 RS got out of the turn faster by 5 miles an hour, almost 6 miles an hour faster. But the straightaway speed, again, the ZR1 is much faster down the straightaway after the turn because it just accelerates so fast, right? So we're gonna keep it going. I'm gonna just let it play here. You'll see the different turns that it outlines here. So you see the next turn here, another turn. And also another thing to point out, like it gives you the turn up here in the upper right hand portion of this video here. It gives you the turn so you know what kind of turn it is, what it looks like, and you can see kind of the data of this. And kind of the thing, what you will see is the ZR1 is not fast through the turns at all. Like right here, here's another example. Here's another turn. The Porsche was quicker through this part of the track. Entry speed, the Porsche was faster. The minimum speed here, look, that's a big difference. That's pretty big difference, 86 miles an hour. The slowest it went was 86 miles an hour in the corner, ZR1 79. Exit speed, ZR1 was able to accelerate faster here, about 3 miles an hour, but the overall top speed at inner straightaway, 106 miles an hour. The ZR1 is it just accelerates so fast that it just like negates the fact that it's so slow in the corners. We'll keep it moving here. And it's gonna keep giving you different turns here. So we're going to the next turn. It should flip to the next turn right here. That's crazy, look at that. Entry speed, Porsche way faster in the turn, into the turns. ZR1 a little bit faster in the middle of the turn exit, Porsche's faster. The Porsche, 97 miles an hour, ZR1 79 miles an hour. Porsche faster in the middle of the turn. Lowest it went is 58 miles an hour, almost 59. Exit speed, 77 miles an hour, faster than the ZR1. Straight speed was faster than the ZR1 for once right here. So that Porsche is really doing a really good job of making up speed in the corners, but the ZR1 is losing speed, is losing time in the corners, but making it up on the straightaway. Here's another one here. Again, look at that. Entry speed, Porsche gets in there faster. Porsche's faster through the turn, faster coming out the turn. Porsche's about the same when it comes to the straightaway speed at that point. So this is the Porsche here. Porsche's faster in the turn, faster coming out the turn, 59 to 80 miles an hour. That's insane that the Porsche is that much faster than the ZR1. But look at that straightaway speed, much faster again, right? Same story just about here. A little bit different here. Porsche's faster in, ZR1's faster here. Porsche's faster getting out of the corner right there, but the straightaway, Porsche was faster. It was able to get out the corner a little bit better for the next straightaway, 64 miles an hour. And it's gonna give us another turn here so you can keep seeing the thing here. Now, again, look at that. Turn exit 82 miles an hour. There's another difference right here. To pause it really fast. ZR1 was faster, but the Porsche got in the turn way faster, was able to keep a higher speed through the corner and leave the corner faster. But the top speed, look at that, 128 after that straightaway, the straightaway after the turn. ZR1, again, that's the only place the ZR1 is making up time is leaving the corner. So that was the Porsche, right? So now I'm gonna show you the GTD. This is the same track all these cars were on. Same data points they're referencing here. You're gonna see kind of the same thing. Now keep in mind here, this Mustang GTD is heavy. It is 4,200 pounds, I think almost 4,400 pounds, something like that. It is as heavy as a Hellcat, as a narrow body Hellcat Challenger. So it's about the same weight as a Hellcat. Keep that in mind now. Even though it's the heaviest car out of all the cars here, it offers the most downforce from all the cars. So therefore, it's gonna really do well in the turns. It also has the wider tires. The widest tires out of all the cars that were tested on this day. And you can see kind of the same thing. Now, it's not gonna be as quick as the Porsche was, but in a lot of cases, the GTD is going to have better speed through the corners. Even though it's heavier, it's gonna have better speed through the corners than that Corvette. So here we go, first turn, you can see right there, ZR1 got in there faster. The Mustang had a faster mile per hour through the turn. Of course, ZR1's a bit faster exiting, and also the straightaway speed. And you can see it does pretty well. Has another turn, look at this right here. Turn entry, the GTD went in there faster minimum speed, about 4 miles an hour difference, faster. Exit speed, this was the ZR1 started shining right there. And of course, straightaway speed, ZR1 again, next turn, look at that. Again, ZR1 went in faster, GTD had a faster speed in the corner, about the same on exit. ZR1 faster down the straightaway at max speed for the next straightaway. Exact same concept here, right? Exact same thing is going on. Here we go again. What you see again, it says ZGD. GTD, fast into the turns, faster speed through the turns. ZR1's faster coming out the turns, faster down the straightaway. But you will see here, the biggest thing here, because the GTD has a lot more power than the Porsche, that straightaway max speed is a little bit closer to the ZR1 here because it has the most power. Now the Porsche has the advantage because it's a lighter car, so it's able to get through the corners better, but it is down on power, so it does hurt itself going down the straightaway. Next turn, again, look at that. This is ZR1 did pretty well here on this turn. It's not a sharp turn, so it was able to be faster overall in this corner right here. Good bit faster, 11.4 seconds to 12 seconds. Look at that one. Look how fast. 95 miles an hour into the turn for the GTD. Heavy car. 3 miles an hour faster in the corner. About 7 miles per hour faster leaving the corner, but in the straightaway speed was pretty good for the GTD on this one. The ZR1 had to slow down a good bit to make the corner, so it wasn't able to pick up speed as fast. All right, so we see the data. The data shows us that the ZR1 is slow in the corner, slower than the other two cars in the corners for most of the part of the track, right? So if the track doesn't have a lot of straightaways, the ZR1 will not shine. It will not do that well. So pretty much all they gotta do is just put more downforce into the car, and therefore the Corvette is going to be that much faster on the track, right? Well, it's not as simple as that. Both the Porsche and the GTD has something special on the car that allows it to have downforce when it needs it, but don't have it when it doesn't need it, right? So downforce, when you add downforce to a car, it slows the car down. You can't go as fast down the straightaway, right? So the trade-off to that is, how do you make it faster down the straightaway without that being a problem? So both the Porsche and the Mustang GTD has a system on it called DRS, or drag reduction system, right? So if you've seen the videos of the Mustang at the Nürburgring, it'll go around the corner and you see the wing open up. That allows the car to have the downforce in the corners, to go through the corners as fast as possible, but also doesn't allow the car to get slowed down by the same thing that helped it get through the corners, right? Because the more downforce you have in the car, the more drag you will have in the car as well. The Porsche has also the same system in it too. The only car that doesn't have it is the Corvette ZR1, or any of the Corvettes for that matter. Now, before I continue in the video here, the only thing faster than the ZR1 on the track is how fast these be stealing Mopars, Corvettes, and things of that nature, and also Camaros, right? To protect yourself, and also what I've done as well into my personal vehicle, I have added CarLock. This is the world's best GPS tracker and alert system. Now with CarLock, you'll get all sorts of notifications to be able to track your car, monitor vibrations, monitor if the engine started, monitor if the car is moved, or if some thieves try to get smart and try to unplug it and things like that. You get a notification in that situation as well. Make sure you get your CarLock and protect yourself. Use the discount codes on the screen that you see right now for a 14-day free trial and the 10% off your CarLock device when you get your CarLock to protect yourself or a loved one. Get your CarLock. You deserve that peace of mind. Let's go ahead and get back into the video. So that pretty much settles it, right? That settles what Chevy needs to do next with their next iteration of their Corvette. They need to add more downforce via a DRS system with the car. Now, the DRS system with the car that's not the only thing that will help the car with, with downforce and be able to go through the corners much faster. Because once the Corvette resolves that problem and gets those corner speeds up, it will definitely be able to hang with the Mustang GTD and the Porsche and some other cars as well when it comes to making turns. And that plus the horsepower, that will make the car unstoppable on any sort of track out there, right? Now, another thing here. Now, of course, when you add DRS to a car or more aerodynamics to a car, it does change how the car looks. So what I want to do, I asked ChatGPT, make me a C8 Corvette ZR1 with better aerodynamics. I'm gonna show you what it spit out and gave me. So when I asked ChatGPT to give me this, it started with this image. This is a Corvette ZR1, and this is what we know how it looks now. But if Chevy takes this thing back into the lab and does what it needs to do to give it that aerodynamic advantage that it is losing in right now, this is what it will look like. And here is what I predict could be the Corvette ZR1 X Zora, which they could do one or two things with this. They can make a ZR1 Zora and a ZR1 X Zora, the X being the hybrid version and then one without the hybrid capabilities in it. But this is how the car will look here. Now, a lot of the things on this car, as you can see, will kind of give it an advantage with the turns and make it faster through the turns. Now, of course, it can put wider tires on it, which the Mustang has that will help out with grip, but there's some other things on this car as well that will help it out. One of the things you notice changed is the rear spoiler. The rear spoiler will house the DRS system, or most of it. That the most noticeable part you will see, where that rear wing will be able to open and close as needed. It will close when it goes to a turn, and then open up down the straightaway to allow the air through, to not slow it down going down the straight. Another thing you will notice that the car will be a little bit lower. Of course, it has the adjustable suspension and things already, but also you'll notice to the back we have the diffuser. Now the diffuser will help with underbody aerodynamics, help pulling it to the ground and making it stick to the ground, which will be a big help with it going through the turns, as well as the side skirts will play a factor in directing the air around the car and putting the air where it needs to be to make the aerodynamics the most efficient that it can be possible. The other major change you see with this, and this is the same thing that's on the Porsche GT3 RS and on the Mustang GTD, you see that front fender, it has that opening behind the wheel. It kind of pulls out air and kind of directs the air down the side of a car where it needs to be. Like I said, both the Porsche has this and the Mustang GTD has something similar to this as well. This does help with aerodynamics. It helps place the air on the car exactly where it needs to be to maximize downforce, which this car will need. All right, so the $1 million question here is this. That's all fine and cool now, but how much will this cost? Chevy has done an amazing job of making this car very affordable for the performance that you're getting out of it. You can get a ZR1X for about $200,000, which is going to beat a lot of cars that are double and triple the price of this car, right? But I do think if they do go this route and put more aerodynamic capabilities on this car, more downforce into this car, it's going to change the price point quite a bit. And I do think with that, it will probably put your entry point for a car like this at about $300,000. I know that's crazy for a Corvette. I do think with $300,000 and the amount of engineering that will have to go into this car to get it to that point, I do see where that would make a lot of sense. It's already kind of labeled a supercar, and getting the aerodynamics to where it needs to be on par with those other cars just in the corners alone will go a long way with this car. And I know a lot of people are just thinking, well, just up the horsepower to make the car faster. To be honest, when you're at a track and you got to take turns, more horsepower doesn't really help you out on a lot of the track because you're taking turns, right? The faster your car is going, the earlier you have to slow down and the harder it is to get back on the gas to get out of the corner and things like that. If you have more, 1,000 horsepower is already crazy, but if you have more than that, it's gonna make the car really hard to drive. So it doesn't need more horsepower, it just needs more aerodynamics to make it faster through the corners. Therefore, if it's faster through the corners, it'll be faster down the straightaway. So that's gonna bring us to the end of the video here. So I do think Chevy does have more room to grow this car and make it faster. As you can see, the only thing it's really lacking is proper aerodynamics on this car, right? It already is pretty aerodynamic, but more downforce will take this car to the moon. It's already crazy and insane as it is, but once those pieces are added to it, this car is going to be wild. You thought it was crazy before, it's going to be much crazier then when they do it. I do foresee them doing it. Not sure of a time frame. Of course, they got to let the ZR1 and ZR1X hit the streets and things like that, but they do got time to make something that crazy with this C8, which was kind of the reason they wanted to go to a mid-engine platform, right? It gives them a lot more potential to do things of this nature. And that's going to wrap up today's video. If you made it this far in the video, let me know what you think about the next level Corvette ZR1X Zora, whatever you want to call it. Let me know what you think. Put in the comments down below, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. We do a lot of car related things on the channel, so subscribe to make sure you're around for everything. We'll catch you on the next video. We're out. Cut it.